This is Mackenzie Shirilla, a 17-year-old Ohio teenager, whose name would soon be tied to one of the most disturbing crash cases in recent memory.
Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
What at first looked like a tragic, high-speed accident quickly turned into something far more chilling. On July 31, 2022, just before a.m., a black Toyota Camry sped through the quiet streets of Strongsville, a suburb outside Cleveland, Ohio. Security cameras would later capture the vehicle flying down the road at nearly
She tried to break into his house.
Correct.
100 miles per hour. Inside the car were three teenagers. Mackenzie Shirilla, 17, behind the wheel. Her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, 20. Dominic's friend, Davian Flanagan, 19.
Driving very calmly and making the right turn, and then all evidence indicates she immediately put the pedal to the metal and drove straight into a building at 100 miles per hour. I think those really demonstrated to us that this was no accident.
Moments later, the car slammed directly into the brick wall of a commercial building. There were no skid marks, no attempt to brake, no sign of swerving. The impact was devastating. Dominic and Davian were both pronounced dead at the scene. Shirilla survived. At first glance, it appeared to be a reckless teenage crash, speeding, inexperience, tragedy. But investigators quickly began to question that narrative. When detectives reviewed surveillance footage from nearby homes and businesses, something stood out immediately. The car maintained a straight line toward the building. It did not drift. It did not lose control. It did not brake. Prosecutors would later argue that this was not a loss of control. It was deliberate. They described the crash as methodical. The vehicle accelerated down a long stretch of road and drove directly into the building's wall at full force. There were no signs that Shirilla tried to save herself or her passengers. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered troubling details about Shirilla's relationship with Dominic Russo. According to prosecutors, the relationship had become toxic. There were allegations of controlling behavior, arguments, and threats. Text messages reportedly showed tension between the couple. Prosecutors claimed Shirilla had made violent statements toward Dominic in the past. Even more shocking evidence suggested that just days before the crash, Shirilla had driven the same route to the building. Prosecutors argued this showed planning. They painted a picture of a teenager who felt anger, jealousy, and emotional turmoil and made a deadly decision. The defense, however, argued something very different. Shirilla's attorneys said she was emotionally immature, depressed, and dealing with mental health struggles. They claimed the crash was reckless and tragic but not intentional.